Are we live?
Yeah.
It looks like we're live here.
Okay. Well, good.
What's going
on? Nothing much. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning for those of us. Good day, however you want to say it, for those of us in Sydney, Australia, or Engadine, Australia, as Mr. Greg Evers. Dang. Sean Austin says he's excited to be here to learn and grow. God, he's going to be so disappointed after he hears you talk, Brandon.
Oh, really? You think so?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I know so.
I don't know about that. It just depends, you know. It's really up to Sean. He will get out of it what he puts into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get out of it what he puts into it. All right.
You don't like that?
Are we having Cliche Tuesday here for VSG?
Yeah, I don't know what this is, Corey.
Oh man. Oh, come on.
This dude is digging deep already. We just got started.
Can I throw out the just keep doing what you're doing, or is it too early in the?
Oh,
that?
right.
Yeah, that's the best one. I mean,
by
just
far.
keep doing what you're doing, which means I don't really know what to tell you.
Right.
I mean, that's a tough one.
Oh man.
Or it means I kind of know what to tell you, but I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, it's like a soft landing.
Yeah.
Wait, what does that mean?
But I've been told that dozens of times, if not hundreds.
Well, everybody, every football official has. But I want to dig deeper into this, Brandon. Hold on. You've told someone that, and you meant something else. Like what? Were you like you didn't want to hurt their feelings or something? Is that?
I sure hope I've never said that. I'm not going to say I haven't. I hope I've never said that. But first of all, I don't get asked advice that much, so I'm a small sample size. Second of all, what I'm saying is when that is said, I feel like very often somebody has an opinion, but they don't want to share it.
Oh, well, that's not cool.
So then it's on the person asking for the opinion to do what you did and dig deeper, right?
Yeah, but most people are not going to do that because 9 times out of 10, the person who they're asking is a person who's considered a quote unquote mentor or someone at a higher level who they don't want to anger or annoy or something like that. So it's like you never really get. Man, I'll tell you what. I would have if somebody asked me a direct question, I would have a tough time tap dancing around it. I'm just being honest.
You're not a tap dancer.
No, I don't do the tap dance drill.
Sometimes to your detriment. Sometimes you might want to throw some tap shoes on.
Yeah, I probably should put some tap shoes on every now and then.
Just strap those babies on. Well, we don't tap dance here though. Do we? I don't know. I tell you you're wrong every week because you usually are. I mean, I feel like I come right at you.
Yeah, okay.
No?
Yeah, I'm not sure where this is going.
Here we go.
Yeah, let's watch it play.
All right, let's get into it. Tell me what you think of this call by the referee. This is a tough mechanic, by the way. I'm going to put a poll up while we discuss mechanics. Obviously, we do have a foul called for holding. The poll pops up. You can do it later and then find it somewhere over on the side. And we're going to enforce the penalty, right? But let's talk mechanics here too. Oh, and you're going to see a blindside block. We'll talk about that here in a little bit as well. Blindside block comes in. This man at about the 37-yard line decides to commit a blindside block.
Number one is not happy. One defense.
Yeah, I kind of understand why. So this is the pulling left guard or tackle. I'm not sure which one is called. I'm just going to take liberties with the video a little bit. Hang on. It is pulling left guard. Pulling left guard is called. Now, in no mechanics book is the pulling left guard the referee's guy, right?
No.
Ever. Never has been. Probably never will be. But who cares, right?
Exactly.
So run plays. And we have a couple of these types of run play mechanics to look at tonight. We're starting here with some penalty enforcement. identifying the basic spot, then getting into the enforcement spot. So there's 9 options in the poll because, you got previous spot, end of run, and spot up the foul all in play here. And we got to create every combo possible. So that's why the poll's so confusing. But anyways, as the left guard comes over, do we have the right set of eyes on this block, Mr. Salam?
I like the referee being there, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, because it opens up to the referee, and he's really the one that has the best look at the offensive player's left hand, which appears to be the restrictive hand. Line of scrimmage official has an outside chance. I'll say a really outside chance, but as you've instructed us, Brandon, all line of scrimmage officials do is watch the ball, so they probably have 0% chance in your mind. But I do think the referee is in a really good spot to see this. And I really like his eyes being there. The center judge, it'll be easy to say, oh, a left guard, center judge should be on it, but it goes all the way to the opposite side of the ball. And the center judge really wouldn't have any perspective on any restrictive action by the pulling left guard.
Yeah, and the player that gets held, if you agree that it's a foul, is the defensive end on the left.
Yeah, I know.
Who just pretty much steps up. I mean, it's not like he crashes severely to the inside, a little bit.
Right.
But so this is a classic, I don't know if classic's the right word, but it's a really good example of working zone in the run game. And man, does that happen fast?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, we go from read to zone. There's somebody else in our zone, meaning R being the referee. So if we're just stuck on man, there's really no way to get this.
Well, let me tell you the other danger in this, and I'm gonna be honest. I mean, this is just tremendous work by the referee, because it'll be really easy to start inside and then pop all the way outside to number 69, who I don't know what 69 came from, but he was blocking on the edge, because you could say, oh, this is a play that's going to the edge. Right. 69 was the left tackle. So you could easily skip over the left guard's block and jump to the left tackle's block, because all of the action is pushing you to the outside. And that would be a fallacy in your mechanics if you don't start from the inside and work your way to the outside instead of starting from the inside and jumping to the outside. And this is really tough. And I'm glad you showed this play, because, I mean, it just teaches us to be so disciplined in how we progress on visual mechanics on these run plays.
Yeah. When we have pullers coming into our zone, I'm just going to state generalities. You might challenge what I say, which is perfect. That's why we're here. When we have pullers coming into our zone, we don't need to go outside as fast, because they're looking for confrontations in our zone.
Right.
When we have pullers going from our zone to another place is when we probably need to transition faster. But that's not the case here. So I agree. Now, it could, like you said, it could have been pretty easy to transition out wide with that other puller.
Mm-hmm.
But that would have been leaving trouble to go find something else, because there's some immediate trouble with the defensive end gaining a competitive advantage from a position standpoint
to
the inside.
Right.
So all that player who happens to start as the left guard, all he's able to do is grab and spin this guy right at the point of attack.
Yep.
I really like this call.
I love it.
I mean, I like the mechanics even better than the call.
Yes, agreed.
We're going to miss this probably
99 times out of 100.
Oh, no. Come on.
Go ahead, say it.
Nah.
Normal, just regular.
More than
normal.
It's not a coin flip though. Like
No.
we're gonna miss this 2/3 of the time.
Yeah.
Depending on how the defense plays it. I mean, it could, I don't know. Like if this is the tackle, the defensive tackle, I mean, we might miss this.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's just really no, this is just a challenging visual mechanics play, because it'll be real easy to get stuck looking at the center, looking at the right guard who halfway went to the second level. Hopefully we didn't start the play by looking at the right tackle, as we've kind of showed why that's a bad idea.
Yeah, this play kind of shows why that's a bad idea.
No, that's a terrible idea. And this play definitely shows why it's a bad idea. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's really easy to get stuck looking
Sure.
at something else.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Okay, cool. We're going to come back to that blindside block in a second. I don't think there's much debate on that, but let's why don't we enforce this? You ready to enforce this?
Well,
Oh,
why don't we go to the blindside block first? Because what if we need to enforce the illegal blinds? We got to choose which one we're going to enforce.
hang on. Nah, we're just the poll just says the hold though.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's
We'll
make
get
sure
there.
we get back to. We can't just
we're
automatically
coming
say we're
back.
going to enforce the hold.
We're coming back to it. We're just enforcing the hold for now because that's really all that was called
Yeah.
here. Okay, so we just have a call for holding.
All right.
So that's now. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter. Like you're gonna say, like here's what you're saying that I don't like. You're saying we can't just ignore the blindside block. Well, here's the thing. You got to do this process that the poll asked us to do. You got to do this for all fouls anyways. So it really doesn't matter. I mean, we got to do this process for all fouls and then pick which one we're going to enforce if there's more than one.
That's
right?
very true. That's very true.
All right,
Yes.
Let's just talk about this. Let's just talk about identifying number one, the basic spot, and number two, the enforcement spot for the offensive hold. So we do have a foul during a run, correct?
That's the foul during the running play. Yes.
All right. So if number one is the basic spot, here's what I want everybody to do. I want everybody to look at G, H, and I, where it says the spot of the foul is the basic spot, and don't damage your computer screen, but just draw lines through the spot of the foul as the basic spot. The spot of the foul can never, ever, 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 never, ever be the basic spot. Are you good with that?
I'm 100% good with
The
that.
spot of the foul is never the basic spot. Okay, so the basic spot is dictated by what type of play we have.
Yep.
It's either a run play, a pass play, or a kick play. All right, that's
It's a
it.
good time to crack open Rule 10.
Probably a good time to do that. So here's the thing. This is a run play. So
Yes.
the basic spot is the end of the run. The basic spot is the end of the run, period, end of sentence. All
On
right?
every running play.
On every run play. And I know there's things that happen when the run ends behind the neutral zone, but it doesn't here. So we don't even have to worry about that here for now.
So are you telling 28% of the pure officiating universe, thank you, good luck, have a nice rest of your evening?
Well, 14% said spot of the foul as the basic spot. So I'm telling them, I'm telling them, I'm not telling them to leave. I'm just telling them to draw lines through their computer screen in a non-damaging way. That's all I said. So now what's left is the end of the run in the previous spot, right?
Yep.
Because we eliminated the spot of the foul. Okay. Well, we just said it though. It's the end of the run.
Yeah, you said it.
So this is a foul during a run. It's holding. It's a running play. Is there any doubt this is a running play?
No.
All right. It's the basic spot is the end of the run. All right. So this is really good that we're in January. Our season's, very far from starting because we just got done with one. This is a great poll result here. This is a great poll result because really 14% said that the end of the run is the basic spot, right?
Right.
And everybody else said something else.
Yeah.
So I don't know where you came up with 28%, but anyway,
I did bad math. I was looking at the wrong
Yeah.
one. Yeah. It's 86%.
I'm not sure what 100 minus 14 is, but
86, I just told you.
Thank you. Let's make sure we understand that the basic spot is dictated by what play it is when the foul happens. That's why we got to know the status of the football. This is a running play, so the basic spot is the end of the run. All right. This is awesome. I mean, this is why we all need to stay sharp on this stuff, right? And if we don't understand it, we need to learn it. And if we're not explaining it, then we need to do better.
Well, Brandon, I'm going to ask you an honest question.
All right.
On plays like this,
Yeah.
do we really need to know what the basic spot is? Or are we going to pretty much get this right on the field without considering, wait a minute, what is the basic spot and all this other stuff? Or do you really feel like we really do need to ensure that we hammer home what the basic spot is? I'm wondering if we're being academic here or if this is practical.
Did your crew mess up a penalty enforcement this year?
Absolutely.
Yep. Guess what? So did mine. So did Corey's. And so did everybody's here. And they won't even admit it, right? Even if you don't think you did, you did.
Yeah.
So you can call it academic. You can call it a process. It's to me very important to identify the basic spot. If we fly by it, but we know it, the end of the run ended beyond, the basic spot's the end of the run. I need to do that on every penalty enforcement, man. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You can have your opinion on it. Mine is I think we need to do it.
Right. When we get to the end, I'm gonna ask you why, and then we'll keep going. But so obviously, I love doing this stuff like this too. This is gold to me. But I'm wondering, I'm sure someone out there in the universe is like, who cares? Yeah, okay, I got it wrong. Previous spot, whatever. But I won't ever enforce it wrong. So I'm gonna ask you that.
Okay. Well, when we have 100% enforcement accuracy as a group at all levels, I'll believe that, but we don't. All right, here we go. So the basic spot is the end of the run. Yes. So I agree with 14%. Now let's go to the enforcement spot. And there you go. I understand now why you're saying this, because 100% of us, that is, said that we're going to enforce it from the previous spot. Okay. Why are we going to?
No.
What? No?
93%.
Oh. See, I'm not doing that.
We have 7% of us said the end of the run. We're going to force it from the end of the run.
And now that I see this, 7% said spot of the foul too. We're confusing ourselves here, or I am, anyways. Yeah. So 7% said end of the run as the enforcement spot. 7% said spot of the foul. 86% said previous spot. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah. Well, anyways, how do we identify the enforcement spot? The spot of the foul is behind the basic spot, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So we're going to go from the spot of the foul unless it's a holding foul that occurred behind the neutral zone, in which case there's a specific exception to the 3-in-1 principle that identifies the enforcement spot as the previous spot.
Right.
So certainly we are going to enforce from the previous spot. Here, the spot of the foul is in the backfield. We're going to go to the previous spot, both the yard line and the lateral position, and mark off 10 yards here. If certainly we're just in the world where holding is the only foul, and that's the option to enforce that.
Right. So we got to make sure we understand spot of the foul is not correct. Well, obviously it's totally incorrect because the flag and the foul is behind the neutral zone. We're not enforcing any holding penalties from back there, but laterally we got to be sure we understand too, even if we were to think, okay, well, we'll go to the line of scrimmage and we'll go from the previous spot, but we'll go from position 4. That'll be incorrect as well. We need to make sure, position 1, 2, that'll be incorrect as well. We need to make sure we go to position 3 to start enforcing this, because the previous spot, like Brandon said, is laterally position 3 as well as longitudinally the 30-yard line.
Yep, exactly. Okay. So poll result was iffy. If there's any questions out there, why are we saying the basic spot is the end of the run and the enforcement spot is the previous spot? Please, let's not leave this play before we all have that hammered out. If we have to do rule references, I'm sure you have your rule book somewhere.
So let me ask you this, because this is where I was going with this, Brandon. Run and play, flag in the backfield, we're going to go to the previous spot. Boom. I can do that 100 times out of 100 without knowing without like consciously thinking about where the basic spot is. So that's why I was asking you, is this academic or is it practical? And maybe help us understand how this is practical on the field.
Yeah, I don't know. So there's really 3 places the flag can land: behind the neutral zone, between the neutral zone and the end of the run, or beyond the end of the run, right?
Yeah.
I guess I could be drawing this out, but I hope that's clear. So obviously, where the flag lands is going to be hugely important to where we enforce this from, given that this is a run that ends beyond the neutral zone. So I hear what you're saying. Yes, flag lands behind the neutral zone. The ball was way down there somewhere. Yeah, you're going to be right. You're going to be right just going to the previous spot, right? You're going to be right. But that's not the basic spot. And I just want to make sure that we're prepared to handle the more complicated situations. And we will be prepared if we just follow this process. Identify the basic spot, identify the enforcement spot. We got to use the 3-in-1 principle. We got to know the exception relative to holding, personal fouls, and something else. We learned in a couple camps ago that it does not include unsportsmanlike conduct behind the line. That's still a spot foul.
Which is dumb.
which is kind of dumb. But anyways, I don't know. I'm not gonna shy away from just following the process, you know. And when you take, everybody loves to talk about rules tests and send those puppies around, right? Well,
Right.
you know, I mean, you know, the easiest way to screw up a rules test is to not understand where the basic spot is.
Yep. Enforce the penalty wrong.
And enforce the penalty wrong. So I get what you're saying. On the field, it's pretty easy. The flag's behind, but I don't know. I kind of believe in the whole process of things. So
yeah.
I mean, trust me, I get what you're saying, but I mean, why are we doing what we're doing? You know, and I mean, I just don't know if we always do things if we understand the why behind what we're doing.
Well, it's pretty clear we don't. At least in this small sample size.
Yeah. So okay. Well, yeah, like you said, people are maybe rolling their eyes, and that's fine. But it's just a good reminder, a good kickstart for our off-season study. All right. Well, I want to talk about a couple different things on this play. I don't think we're going to have any debate on this illegal blindside block, correct?
No, not for me.
I mean, this has been a foul. Forget about blindside block. This has been a foul for years. I mean, right? I mean, this is a guy out of the play in my estimation.
I don't want to go that far. Yeah, no,
wow.
I don't like that. Maybe I'll see what Corey says, but I don't know if he's out of the play.
Yeah, it's close. I don't know if I would call him out of the play either. But I mean, it's a ball
carrier.
Yeah,
he's prancing in the general direction of where the ball carrier is being tackled. I mean, this to me is a cheap shot.
It is a cheap shot. I think I'm more with Brandon now. I mean, I've only seen it a couple times.
I think it's a cheap shot too, but I don't know if I'm ready to say he's out of the play.
I mean, I think it's called a personal foul regardless if he hits him blindside or not. Let's just put it that way.
That's where I'm at. I mean, that's where I'm at. But thankfully, we don't even. You know.
Okay. I like that. I see what you're saying. Yeah. I go with that. Yeah.
Okay. So, but thankfully, this debate is really talk about academic. It doesn't matter. I mean, this debate doesn't matter because the blindside block rule covers this play, no doubt.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Outside the field of vision, attacking. No low risk indicators at all, if borrowing language from the targeting process. But I mean, there's just nothing here to show we're doing anything to block this guy without being excessive with our attack and our force and all that stuff that feeds into the blindside block rule. All right. So now, live ball or dead ball?
Live.
I'll go live.
Okay, let's throw the flag. Well, we got to see it to throw the flag.
Well, we saw it.
Right?
Let's throw it right now.
I know, but who's going to see it? Obviously, we didn't see it in this play.
There should be three people that have a chance of seeing that, like legitimately seeing that.
Well, one for sure, and that's the deep wing at the top of the screen. I have no idea what else we would be looking at if we were the deep wing at the top of the screen.
Correct. I mean, even the line of scrimmage, maybe you're working spot, but I mean,
it's right in the field of vision, right, Corey?
Right.
Even if
back judge, I mean, back judge maybe down at the bottom a little bit, but
out in front,
yeah, out in front. So
let's get the deep wing. Let's go. Come on now. You know, this is a good one. We look back, you know, after this game, because I bet you our deep wing knew this happened, but maybe just for whatever reason didn't quite see all of it. And we'll look back and like, oh my gosh, right. So this is a great one to get better off of. This has happened to all of us. This something like this, right? You kind of knew you missed something. I mean, you look back at it and you're like, oh my gosh, that's a huge foul.
Well, I'm sure what happens is he sees, you know, the Kentucky player kind of disengaged from his first dude, and he probably goes looking for something closer to the point of attack. And
because that's what all those clinicians tell you to do.
Right. You know. But I don't think you need to have laser focus in the point of attack area because you got 6 other officials working that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. Let's get the flag down. We'll get it next time. So next time is now. Now we have a flag for holding and we have a flag for this blindside block. Let's just go through the same process on the blindside block, right?
Yeah.
So we're saying live ball?
Yeah, let's do live ball first.
Okay. Basic spot?
End of the run.
End of the run. It doesn't change. If it's a
we
live
all
ball
got that
foul,
right.
if you have 25 flags on the field and they're during this run, the basic spot is the same for all 25.
That's right.
Okay. So now is the spot of this foul okay, help me out on this language. Is the spot of this foul behind the basic spot or not?
Yeah, it's probably around the same place.
It's probably around the same place.
Depending on what kind of arm you have from the deep, and I was horrible at throwing flags, so my flag is definitely not going to reach that far.
That's a great point. For realistically, the flag is going to land and present initially as if the foul is in front. In other words, beyond.
Yes.
So let's just put the flag at the 40, that big line right there.
Okay.
All right. Let's put the flag there. So now let's identify the enforcement spot for this blindside block.
Well, the foul is beyond the basic spot if we don't adjust our flag.
Correct.
Which means we need to go to there. Taylor just said it. We're going to go to the basic spot.
Exactly. So I know it's academic, but if we have this blindside block, we need to know that, it's not as if we're going back to the previous spot. We're saying the spot of the foul is out there at the 40. The enforcement spot is the basic spot.
Right.
All right. So where is the end of the run? It's at like the 37?
36, 37, somewhere around there.
Put it at 37.
Let's say we got a good arm and we get the flag to the 35.
Oh, okay. So then obviously we're just back to what we talked about. The spot of the foul is behind the basic spot, but it's beyond the neutral zone. 3 and 1 tells us to go from the spot of the foul.
Okay.
All right.
Good. So now we're going to go from the spot of the foul. We're going to go where? Brandon, why don't you pause? Can you draw? We can't draw really well on this. I
could tell us straight, but I know how everybody loves that. We can. Well,
it doesn't work well on this thing.
No, it doesn't work well. It used to work better. It's okay. Hang on. Let me get to right here, and we will go ahead and we got the flag.
The wide view is perfect.
Oh,
right before the play ends, the wide view is perfect to illustrate all this stuff.
Yeah, here we go. So we're at the 37. If the flag's at the 35.
Yeah. The BSB flag.
The BSB flag's at the 35. Hopefully it's in about the middle of the field. We're going to go from the 35 to the 20, correct?
Yep.
The hold, the previous spot was the 30 in the middle of the field. So we would go from the 30 to the 20.
Yep.
All that actually works out. So,
well, it does, but hold on. It matters if we choose which foul we choose, right? Because if we do the holding, we got to go from position 3. I'm thinking that the BSB is at position 4, to be honest. And our flag probably ain't gonna make it all the way to the middle of the field. And the 35.
I agree with all that.
Yeah, so
I don't think our flag's gonna make it past the ball, but
yeah, but we probably have the flag out there at position 5 somewhere, and we may not laterally adjust it. So
correct.
Whichever one we enforce, we got to make sure we know which one we're enforcing. We say all right, let's do the BSB. Well, now we got to go. Whoever's marking a penalty off has to go to position 5 or 4 or wherever the flag is. If we're going to do the holding, we need to go back to the previous spot, which is position 3. So it does matter. It sounds stupid and it sounds like we're saying academic, but it matters. You're going to end up on the same yard line, but you're going to have a different lateral position.
Okay, here's where it really matters. Put the flag at the 40, position 5.
Yeah.
Okay, now we said we're going back from the end of the run in that case.
Yes.
So the blindside block option is to go from the 37 to the 22. The hold option is to go from the 30 to the 20.
Right.
So this is not going to be one of our gold standards in efficiency if that's the case. Because we got to step through this now.
Yes.
And that's okay. The better option, if the flag is beyond the end of the run, the better option is to accept the hold.
Yes.
And it's just not something we normally do because the math usually doesn't work out when you decline a 15-yard penalty and enforce a 10-yard penalty. But this is what you would do if that flag ends up, downfield from the end of the run.
And Brandon, you see how many failure points we just had in enforcing this penalty if we have 2 flags on the field? There are so many failure points, and it starts with each individual official ensuring that they, number one, have proper visual mechanics, and number two, get their flag in the right spot.
Yep.
Because then, I mean, we can't even start all of this advanced calculus, figuring out which one we're going to enforce until we have the flags in the right spot.
Right. So that's why I don't think identifying the basic spot, starting with the process is academic. I mean, we got to get here. That foul, who knows where we're going to have that flag. That's a long ways to throw the flag. So we just got to know that where we're enforcing each foul from, do some quick math to determine that the hold is going to actually be worse for the
I'll set you up and I'll let you make a great point. Now everybody thinks you're like a genius, but that was all.
I set you up.
No,
I set you up.
Oh no.
Yeah, because you were saying, hang on, let's do the blindside block too. I said, just patience. Patience, grasshopper. Patience. You don't believe me?
No, nobody believes you. No, there's like literally no one buying.
It's in the script that you didn't read. All right. So that's it. Oh, I did want to have one more conversation. I know this play is really short. Here's what's interesting to me on this play. Watch the block. I hope I have it paused right. See 0 on defense getting blocked right there?
Yep.
Pretty suspect, isn't it?
It is. It's a grab.
It's a grab.
Outside the frame.
Outside the frame.
So
color separation.
Yeah, we can't use freeze frames to throw a flag.
Correct. So
umpires all over, by the way, which is a great job because that is a second level block, and that is where we need the umpires to work. They got to work second level blocks,
beautiful,
especially on these run plays. This is perfect.
That's beautiful. So we can't just throw on the action; we got to throw on the effect.
Correct.
Because I'm telling you, that's going to be holding. If that's all we see, that's going to be holding.
Yep.
And we see that the runner cuts back and the blocker is able to regain a proper position. And that little grab that we saw just doesn't really turn into any restriction whatsoever that is relevant to this play.
It would have been restriction, I think, relevant to the play had number 1 continued to the outside. But because number 1 cut back to the inside, number 0 really wasn't put at any disadvantage because of that. And like you said, we got to watch the totality of the play before we make a decision on just throwing a flag.
Yep. So that's just great. If you just compare these two blocks, it's pretty much the same grab. Pretty much, I don't know if it's the same. Obviously, the effect is different because the inside block by the left guard pulling over materially restricts this player right at the point of attack, spins him around. He's not allowed to make the play. B0 is put at no competitive disadvantage whatsoever because of where the runner goes. Right. Like you said, if the runner shoots that gap to the left of B0, we've got a different, in reference to B0, our right from this camera angle. If he shoots to the right of B0 from this camera angle, that's going to turn into holding all day long.
Yep.
And we've got good mechanics from the umpire to see that. All right, cool.
All right, I have a dissenting opinion on this, and I'm just going to play devil's advocate. And obviously, we all know that I suck at holding, so this is probably good fodder for that. So, obviously, I see restriction just because of the way the defender's body reacts. It's like it looks like his right foot is stuck in mud, and to me, that prevents him from stepping up to fill that hole. Like he could step when he's being tugged, and he kind of takes that funky left step with his left foot. I would imagine his responsibility would be to step up and fill that hole.
That's a legitimate observation, Corey. And I don't have anything of substance to disagree with that, although I just disagree with it. But I don't have anything substantive to say why I disagree with it.
Okay.
I just think his job is to get over to his left, talking about the defender's left, and he does what he wants to do. He turns this play back in. I totally hear what you're saying, and
Corey's saying without that grab, he probably could make a tackle at about the 28-yard line.
Yeah, because he's going to step.
Sure.
right now where we have it paused, he's going to start coming upfield. That's his responsibility.
Sure.
He doesn't have contain responsibility. He has fill responsibility.
I get that. I get all that. But I mean, that's going to be a lot of holding in every game. You know, because if we see that, the effect of that, and we see how this play just transpires, we can pretty easily be consistent not calling this, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I get what we're saying. The still shot is damning, right?
I really like holding on the still shot. That really.
Oh, I love holding on the still shot, dude. Me too.
Well, I
really
think after the
strong,
play,
man.
what I really love is it's 74. Come on, man. You gotta, when this dude is outside your frame, you gotta let him go. All right, ref. All right, I got it. But I think we do need to talk to him after this play, because we could easily throw the flag. I honestly, I would not disagree with a holding flag on here, but I would disagree with me throwing the holding flag. But if someone else threw it, I couldn't say it's wrong.
Yeah, it's one of those.
I would like, okay, so if this is holding right here for him stepping up and unable to step up and fill the hole, you just like to see him spin or like go to the ground. I mean, something more than this. I just think he's pretty much, keep that outside arm free. He's able to do what he wants to do.
Yep. And he's posting as well. He's posting while getting held. So you got to recognize that too. That's all the other little tiny intricacies of the play.
Yeah.
Because of the time when he's going there and that grab happens, he's fully expecting one to go to the boundary.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's really what he wants to do.
Absolutely.
Because look what the runner's shoulders are faced.
Yeah. If he shoots right here, vertical on the field, it's just holding all day long. For some reason, he cuts back underneath this block. And I know it's kind of weird talking out of both sides of our mouth a little bit, but the effect of this hold really is nothing.
I think what's important, I really like what Two Dot said. If you ended up throwing this and you were able to articulate, well, he was trying to get up into that hole and make that tackle, that's great, just processing those details. And if we pass on this and say, well, look, he's trying to get to the outside at the time of the restriction, and then, like we said, he's able to get in proper position and just jam him out or throw him outside. Either way, like however you just process those details and come to your decision is what's really important. And hopefully we can, that's what we're trying to strive for.
Yeah. So call the effect, don't call the action. That's what we did from the referee position on this play. Yeah. And, fortunately, in my opinion, we didn't call 74. It would be great to get to him and say, come on, like you said, you already said it, but let's go.
We definitely got to talk to him after the play.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody saw it. I mean, the only person I think may had a chance maybe to be the back judge.
No, I think the umpire's working the Corey.
I think he's looking backside. He's looking at 75.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at his bill of his cap.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of potentials. And we were talking about the back judge being out in front earlier, probably why he missed the blindside block. DY, that'd be a good place to be looking on this play from the back judge position.
Well, I didn't evaluate the sideline. I mean,
I'll get to the sideline right here.
Yeah, I don't know what else was going on. Where we started. Is that trips to the bottom?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's right. Motion.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be fantastic. It'd be really hard not to work that tight ends block once the guy goes in motion across the formation, and he's behind the line of scrimmage at the snap. It'd be really hard not to be out there on 84.
Cool.
What do you think, Corey?
Yeah, I think it'd be really hard. I don't think there's no reason for us to be that wide of vision.
Especially if you feel one and the flow of this play trying to get to the boundary.
Right. You got to trust that your side judge and headline judge are going to be taking care of those 3 players remaining, and we'll take care of the other 19.
All right, I got the video acting weird, probably because I paused it so many times. All right, cool. Anything else on that play?
Yeah, one other thing, tax layer. Is that like tax TurboTax and Tax Act and HR block and all that crap?
Got to be.
Does anybody use tax layer? Do they have enough money to
I just assume they just like
it's pretty big on the East Coast.
Oh.
I asked that question a couple years ago, and because I was like, we don't use TurboTax, and they're like, oh,
yeah, I know.
So I was like, oh, sorry. Like they were very offended that I asked that question, but whatever.
I love the name because it kind of communicates like we're going to slay whatever the taxes you owe and just make them go away.
That
could pull me in.
That's called marketing.
Oh, well, it worked.
What's this?
So, DY, I broke into night sweats when I watched this play. You're gonna break into a few sweats as well.
I'm sure.
Our guy Taylor shared this play, and he wanted to just get some feedback. He really was just throwing himself on the sword and just sharing one of his mistakes and wondering what can he do better. So we're gonna watch the play. Only shows once. There's only one good. This is one good video of it. It's 2 plays. It's a 2-play vignette.
Vignette?
Oh yeah.
Man, I love when we do vignettes.
Yeah. So Team A runs a play. And then you're going to see a Team B player is going to run onto the field. There were 11 Team B players. Team B player runs onto the field. Nobody runs off the field.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 12 on defense.
Can't imagine what that's like. Can't imagine ever making that mistake.
So DY, you and I shared that. Then the guy runs. You see the player runs off. Coach at the bottom on Team A. He's like, man, what in the world? How can y'all miss that?
Yeah.
So,
well, because coach, they're snapping at like 32 seconds.
Is that what we're gonna tell him?
No, probably not.
Oh, I mean, I'm comfortable saying that if that's what we're gonna agree that we should say.
I feel like we should not agree that we should say that.
Oh, okay. So then, what ends up happening? Team A got stopped. They got to run the field goal team on. They kick a field goal, and of course, as luck would have it, Team A ends up losing the game by like 5 points or something like that.
Oh,
well, that's definitely our fault then. Yeah.
Of course, it's our fault.
Yeah, that's our fault.
So the question is, and hold on, I forgot to loop the video. Of course.
Gosh almighty.
Yeah, I know.
It's like a weekly thing. It's a tradition now.
Okay, so here's the deal.
Play one.
What do we do here? Help us out. Taylor wants some help, man. What? How do we make sure this never happens again?
Okay, I've got, as you can imagine, multiple thoughts. The first thought is, Taylor, it probably won't ever happen again because of this exact right here. So I remember we had this conversation, I think about a month ago. I go into every game now, and part of like my mantra that I'm communicating to myself is be perfect procedurally. So as a back judge, that's counting defense and that's the play clock. Those are the things that I'm ultimately always responsible for. So I just, and look, we talk about not pursuing perfection, but rather pursuing growth and development. But those aren't like skill-based things. Those are focused-based things. And so now that like going through that is really what I feel like cures you from getting lazy on those. And never is probably a strong word, but being focused on those little things, because when things happen that require judgment and mechanics, those things are ingrained in us and we work them over and over and over. And we have a little bit, certainly focus is relevant there too, but like there's a little bit of just kind of a Freudian or maybe Pavlovian's better. Like we just are engaged there. We're inclined to engage. Whereas these are the moments where it's easy for us to maybe get distracted or forget about the things that matter. So again, I go into the game because if you're not reading between the lines, because we missed one of these and we missed it, in a Division I college football game.
Yep.
And so just being aware and cognizant that can happen, right? Like, everybody loves to crack jokes about this. You can't count to 11 on all this and all that. But if you've never, once you experience, you can come to grips with the reality that, yeah, this is possible for even really, really high capacity officials like Tuta. So we just want to be like, have that ingrained on us over and over and over. Okay. Second thing is, this needs to be our dead ball priority once colors separate. We're going to go to play clock. then the very next thing is we need to be thinking about substitutions, because immediately I see the back judge signaling the down. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having down and distance awareness. I would just challenge, like, what are we accomplishing by stepping up there and putting our hand in the air and giving a number?
Right.
I don't know if our deep wings need us to do that to know the down. That's discouraging, but okay, maybe that's a reason. I'm just saying, like, what are the things that we're doing from the time the whistle blows to the time that the ball snapped? And then within those things that we're doing, what are the things that matter the most that could really, really cause dysfunction within this game? And then how are we programming around them to prioritize them? So again, play clock is 100% on me. So that's my first thing I start thinking about once the play is dead. Once colors separate, right? We want to make sure that we're dead ball officiating. We never want to sacrifice that. Once that happens, we're thinking about play clock. The very next thing I'm thinking about is counting defense and making sure that that's right. And a really helpful way to do that is, so if we have substitutes from the offensive side, right, that initiates our substitution process. If we don't, and I see a Team B player coming in, the first thing I'm saying to myself, or on the O2O, depending on just like kind of crew protocols, is they're on their own. They're on their own. They're on their own. So I know when I'm saying that I have 12. I know that I have 12 because I just played the last down with 11 and I just watched the Team B player run on. So that, you know, like, math is hard, but I know that we just added 1 to 11. So now we have more than 11, right? So thinking about, okay, they're on their own, that we're not going to hold this up. And so now I've just triggered myself to be in this space where I'm ready for this to occur. And then the last thing I'll say, and I'm sure you guys have way more better points and really like to hear Corey too. The last thing I will say is, as the back judge, I will get fussy if I feel like my field judge and side judge are not engaged in this process. I know that's hard to imagine.
So you're looking, when you say engaged in the process, are you looking for the thumbs up, the signal, and all of that, or is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, signal, or, you know, if we're using O2O and you just want to tell me we're full on defense, whatever. However, but the worst thing in the world is to be back there and feel like you're the only one counting.
Yeah.
Right? Because we've all counted before and gone, oh crap, did I just count 17 guys? Surely not. Right? Wait, was that 9 guys? How can that be possible? Right? We've all just had that doubt creep in as players are crossing each other and they're getting into formation. So you just don't want to be the only one responsible for that. And, you know, who knows what's happening here and how the game has gone. But that's another fail-safe I think is really important, because 3 of us missing this is way less likely than 1 of us just kind of getting off. And if we have those backstops as a group and we're working those together. So those are, I know that's a lot of thoughts, but that's
right.
With missing this.
So Taylor is the deep wing at the bottom of the screen. So that complicates it a little bit. Because that player, the defense is at the top of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do think one thing I heard you say, and I love prioritization. To me, if a defensive player runs on, anything else that we're thinking about in this pre-snap routine and dead ball routine stuff, that goes away. And I need to make sure that there's 11 players on here, because we cannot miss 12 on the field. It's because there's no judgment involved in that. I mean, we just simply counting the 12.
And we've got so many of those things, Tuta, relative to our, you know, I'm using air quotes, you can't see me, pre-snap routine, that are intended to set us up to officiate the live ball action well. And those things are relevant and they're great, but nobody freaking care. Team A coach certainly doesn't care when we miss 12 guys on the field, because look, not only is it just an error in officiating, but it's an error that, and I hate to say this, but it's a reality that it impugns our credibility. It does.
Right.
Like, people are out there thinking, people already think we just showed up in our uniform, like we just drove to the stadium, and you know what I mean? Like,
most of the time, you don't even have your uniform when you drive to the stadium, Daniel. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't think most of the time is the appropriate adjective. Maybe that has or hasn't happened. I don't know, but like certainly not most of the time. But you know what I mean? All we do now is feed into that narrative.
Yes.
And we, unfortunately we're battling TV in the year 2023. And so we just can't start, like you said, we can't be worrying about where we're lined up and what the formation is. Oh, it's 3rd and 3. Oh, 5 wide. The ball's got to come out fast.
Yeah, no.
And they got 12 on defense. So we've got to prioritize that.
Yes, I love that. And you mentioned crew protocols. For me, on our crew, I like to be the one who says defense on their own, because I'm really the only one who knows when the window is open, when the window is closed. So this is one I would hope to be on the 0-2-0. As soon as I see this defensive play across my face, defense on their own. Now, hopefully that will trigger something for our deep three to say, wait a minute, what's going on here?
So you're only doing that two-tile when D subs.
No.
Okay, so you're doing that anytime A doesn't sub.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, I do that anytime a defensive player runs onto the field and I know that the window is not open. I don't know if that's a better way.
No, that's perfect. I got you.
Yeah. They can run on and off all they want, but if the window's open, I'm not going to say anything. But once the window is closed, or if I never opened the window, and like on this play, I never opened the window. So I'm going to make sure I say defense on their own. That way everybody knows.
When Team A doesn't sub, are you saying something like spot and clear, even if Team B doesn't do anything, or do you not say anything in that situation?
It depends on the situation. If I'm feeling like Team A is going to go fast, I'll tell the center judge spot and go.
Okay.
If it's just if we're just going in normal pace and everybody's going to, either huddle, depending on what team we have, or sugar huddle, or, just stay at the line and just do their thing, then I probably wouldn't say anything.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but it depends.
So is it all 0-2-0, or do we still do a positive signal to the center judge to?
I don't always do a positive signal because the center judge is not always looking at me. A lot of times he's behind the pile or he's doing whatever he's doing, and sometimes he's not even looking at me. So I will do a verbal, but I do a positive signal if he is holding up and looking at me.
Yeah. Corey kind of got it in the chat already, but I don't know. You want to expand on that?
Yeah.
What about the line of scrimmage getting involved?
Yeah. We, as a deep, we wouldn't want that, because we're not going to be hoping to hear from you in that situation. And probably just, if we hear an 0-2-0, we may not even pay any attention to that. And I think the bigger danger there is that you're taking your focus away from your responsibility. Like, if we miss this, that's on us.
That's right.
So I wouldn't want my line of scrimmage mates trying to, be looking for that when we have 3 officials that should be on that all the time. So, all of Daniel's points are things that I subscribe to as well. I mean, if my side judge or field judge they don't give me a count, they hear about it. And it took till I think the second TV timeout of the season this past year, where I had to bring the side judge over and be like, hey, bro, like, I'm not just sticking my thumb out in the air for the fun of it. Like, I expect you to look at me. And he didn't miss it again.
That's awesome.
I think in these hurry-up situations, like, if you trust that your previous count was solid, all you got to do is add and subtract. And if you add one without a subtraction, you're good. In hurry-ups, I don't count the whole defense again. I just know I had 11 the first play. If 2 come on, 2 have to go out. If not, okay, that's easy. Like, sometimes you just have to simplify your process in a hurry-up situation.
Okay, so let me ask another question. So we see the play that just ran with 12. We see the defender running off. How late is too late to throw that flag for defense playing? Let's say we got a count really quickly before the next snap, and we counted 11, and we know somebody just ran off. Are we shutting down and throwing the flag?
I mean, it would be disingenuous for me to say, yeah, I throw the flag, because I think I would just curse at myself and know that I missed 12.
Yeah. I think I'm with you, Corey, because what if what if something happened and it really was 11 and you just missed something all the way on the other side of the field or whatever? Anything could happen.
So you're saying Tuta throw the flag just because he's running off?
Yeah, you see the dude running off, you count and you say, wait a minute, this is 11 on. This dude just ran off. That means we had to have had 12 on the previous play. Would you throw a flag, shut the play down, and throw a flag then, is what I'm saying.
I mean, I think it's the same principle that we apply to all flags. If at that point you're confident that they had 12, I'd say rip. You know,
Yeah.
if you're like, oh, wait, I counted 12. Oh, wait, I counted 11. He's running off. And like you're in that space of just like, this feels bad, but I don't know. Probably better to eat it because you certainly don't want to be in.
Oh, that's even worse, huh? To say
11 guys. And right, we've all seen them play with 10, so it's not like they're perfect in this regard either.
Right.
Like we don't have to go there, but come on, coach.
And you know, fortunately or unfortunately, if we have replay on a game and this happens, you know our replay people are just itching to hit that button up there.
Oh yeah.
Going crazy.
Oh, yeah.
There's 12. So you know, they would have that thing shut down before that would happen, I would think.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this is a game that was played without replay. So that's one of the challenges that we face at the lower levels at Division II, Division III, NAIA, high school, whatever level that we work when we're not working in the game with instant replay. But, you know, hopefully, Taylor, hopefully that helped. Hopefully we gave you something to think about and maybe something to bring back to the crew for some of the other crewmates and what they can do as well to try to work through this. But we've been there, buddy. Daniel and I, Boise, Idaho. Never forget it. We had this exact situation, and it feels horrible, but it happens.
The only other thing, Tuta, just to make sure we're clear, that if you know you have 12, like you're able and you're confident, there's no like until that ball snap, like let's throw it. You know what I mean? Like there's no statute of limitations on that if the ball hasn't been snapped. If you know, again, I don't think we want to be in the business of just throwing flags based upon like circumstantial evidence.
Right.
But like if we know there's no timetable until that, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. All right, here we go. We are going to, I already forgot what bowl this was. I apologize.
Military Bowl.
That's the bowl. All right. So we did a deep dive 2 or 3 sessions ago on intentional grounding, but let's not stop there. Let's keep going. Got another poll. It's up. Quarterback throws the ball from inside the tackle box. Oh man, I pulled a Tuta without looping the video. How about that? Hang on.
It's contagious.
Greatness is contagious.
Okay, here we go. Quarterback throws the ball from inside the tackle box. And then there's options about being under duress and the receiver in the area. So it's a double-sided something. Not sure what it is, but it's you got 2 options to make and then put them together. Is the quarterback under duress or not? Is the receiver in the area or not? And answer accordingly.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So there we go.
Meanwhile, number 12 lost his ACL.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, right? It's a non-contact knee injury, It looks like.
Yep.
Ugh.
Those are scary.
Those are scary. So while we have zero sympathy for his situation, we're going to try to apply the rules of the game. Hope that young man is doing well. But yeah, so for more on intentional grounding, it was like, I think it was 2 or 3 sessions ago. Wasn't it 1 game too?
It was all in the FCS National Championship.
That's right. Otherwise known as South Dakota Domination.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Just so we're all aware. Oh, hey,
Like
just while we're
domination.
Just while we are talking here, I know that back corner pylon really is kind of meaningless, but it's kind of positioned on the wrong corner, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes, it is.
So it looks kind of weird. we want to get that in the right corner, don't we?
That
Or do you ignore it?
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be in the appropriate corner. I don't think we ignore it.
Yeah.
I would, if I was a deep wing over there, I would want to clean up my office before every play, and that's one thing I would notice, and hopefully move that thing before if I had a chance to. I don't know how fast the offense is going, but I would want
It's
to.
so pointless. What is the point of that pylon? You got to
There's
get rid
no
of
point.
it. It shouldn't
It
be
literally
there.
has 0 point.
No, and it could create a bad situation potentially.
It could. It absolutely could. If a guy,
I don't know that I've ever seen it, which is kind of weird, but it's
What if a dude kicks it when he jumps up to catch to try to
he kicks it on his way up
Yeah.
and then comes down in bounds, or on his way down and then gets his foot down in bounds. Nobody wants that. The game doesn't want
nobody
that.
wants that. I don't know what the point of that pylon is, but
Well, let's move to eliminate it.
Just throw it into the stands is what. No, I'm kidding. I
could do
wouldn't.
that. I mean, we do that with that G
That
goal
G
line.
is not in here. To
Just
hell with that G.
take off all the logos off of the pylon and then go hide it somewhere. You take the
Ooh.
logos before you hide
You're one of those guys.
it. Watch your mouth.
I was on a crew once who got accused of stealing a lot of collateral.
What is a factual accusation? What is that called?
What is accused? Accused is not incorrect. That's factual. You were accused.
Yeah, there was a slight issue. Be careful with that stuff.
Indictment. Yes, Matthew says we indicted that crew. Well,
Okay.
then they got to go to trial. Matthew, we don't need a trial for this stuff that happened here. We just go straight to like the penalty phase.
Yeah, sentencing. Fortunately, they went light on those who were the criminals, which was not me. Never mind. All right, here we go. So, okay.
Oh boy.
So we got a split again. 47% said quarterback not under duress and intended receiver not in the area. Therefore, it's not ING. 26% said quarterback is under duress and receiver is not in the area. So already there's a lot of people that don't think that receiver's in the area, like 73%. 21% said quarterback is not under duress and the intended receiver is in the area.
That's interesting.
And then 5%.
I want to understand that.
5% said quarterback is under duress and intended receiver is in the area. So basically a quarter of us are saying the receiver is in the area and 3/4 of us are saying the receiver is not in the area. About 1/3 of us are saying the quarterback is under duress and about 2/3 of us are saying the quarterback is not under duress.
Yeah, 68% say no duress.
Okay. So where do you want to start?
Well, in the area was the biggest, kind of the most resounding answer. So let's just clear that up quick.
Okay. Well,
Number 12 is in the hospital. How can he be in the area to pass? he's being airlifted. How can he be in the area to pass?
Well, he would be in the area, Tutar. What about that?
yeah. Can you say if he didn't lose all ligaments in his knee that he would be in the area? Because the quarterback thought he would be there.
He's supposed to be there.
He is supposed to be
He
there.
is supposed to be there, but that's not
That's not what we do.
evaluation criteria.
That's not what we do. I could buy that if he was,
based on what we think is supposed to happen.
Correct.
well, not here anyways.
Okay.
I could buy that if this ball went over his head and he was laying outside the numbers, I'm fine with that. Because it's well downfield. It's got to
Right.
go over him and he's outside the numbers. If it goes right over him, I'm good. Let's put him in the area. But he's way to the inside, and not way to the inside, but he is to the inside of the field a little bit. And this ball lands right where that pylon should be set up. Miraculously. So
You like that, didn't you?
I did like that. I don't think he's in the area.
I don't either.
No way.
I can't put him in the area either.
You can't put him in the area. I mean, if we were able in this scenario, and maybe that's what a lot of folks were thinking, because I don't think that's super uncommon to think about, like, just look. I mean, that's not crazy. Just using football sense, he's clearly supposed to make this cut and then go to the pylon, go to the corner. We just can't do that, is what we're saying on this play. We don't have the liberty when we're talking about ING to say, well, he was supposed to run this route, or he was supposed to run any route before, the sniper got him. Because that's reasonable, right? Like, if that's your thinking, that makes sense. Yeah, he probably is supposed to be in the area, but when we're officiating this play, we just don't have that luxury of making that determination.
Okay, so if we come to that conclusion, even though we may feel bad that he got sniped here,
it was a battery,
and we do
feel bad, but we still work the game. We need at least probably 2, if not 3, I would hope, officials coming in towards the referee, correct?
Oh yeah, I'm coming in.
Are you? Good.
Yeah, for sure.
Deep wing, do you have a good perspective on this or no?
Absolutely.
The best.
Right.
Yes.
You got this the whole way.
Yep.
Line of scrimmage, why not? I mean, I don't know. That's, I mean, we all go to this when the ball's in the air, so probably 3 people hopefully would, I mean, if we have at least 3 people thinking about this, for sure we're going to get probably 2, and at worst case 1 running into the referee reporting there's no receiver in the area. All right.
All right. So before we move on, let's talk about if this receiver is at the numbers and this thing goes out of bounds, does that change anything?
Well, I think so. Here's what I'm going to say to answer that the way I do, the way I think about this anyways. If he's at or outside the numbers and the ball goes over his head, then we're going to give him a little more, latitude. The fact that the ball maybe didn't land right by him.
Okay. I knew that was going to be the answer. So the devil's advocate says, well, this ball does go over his head. I
know it does. He's just so far inside. I mean,
right. And that's the key to me.
Yeah. I think using the numbers is great. If you don't want to use the numbers, I don't know, pick something else. But I just think that using the numbers has always been a tried and true guide for us to say, when do we expand that area and for the ball getting over his head. I know the ball goes over his head, but man alive, this thing lands literally 20 yards as the crow flies from him.
Yeah. But we don't use that same metric if it's under the numbers. Like, it can go 75
Correct.
yards beyond him. So,
yeah, exactly. Okay. Now, that would be something to talk about with your crew, though.
Yep.
I mean, if you've got a crew full of people that want this in the area, that's fine. I mean, I just want to make sure we're all, meaning our crew and then whatever program we're in, that's how we're working the play throughout the whole season. I don't have a problem with that. Just the way kind of we learned this, we would not want this in the area. So that's just what we're sharing. Duress. So Tutai, you've got Daniel and Corey are charging in towards you, telling you there's nobody in the area. You got 3 decisions to make.
3
Pocket's
decisions.
pretty easy. Yeah, pocket's pretty easy.
Oh,
right. The defense didn't affect this ball at all.
right.
So you're going to put the pass on the quarterback.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got the pressure or the duress. So what are you doing?
See, you threw me with that. I'm not making 3 decisions on this play. 2 of them are innate, so I don't even have to make that decision.
Well, you made the decision. It's just subconsciously that you made it because you're so damn good. That's why.
No, I'm not that good. I can confirm that I'm not that good. But this takes no thought to know if he's in the pocket or if the pass was impacted by the defender. So I don't need to make that. But relative to under duress, I do not feel like this quarterback is under duress. Although there is a defender who can reach out and touch him at the end of the play, this quarterback dropped back, took 2 steps, and just threw the ball with nothing in his body mechanics and body language told me that he felt the pressure of that defender who was coming from the outside. And to be honest, I didn't really focus on that defender until the ball was gone. Just because of the way he was blocked and the way the pocket set up. So I do not feel like this quarterback is under duress, although there's a player really close to him.
You're telling me this guy reaches out and slaps the quarterback in the back and he's not under duress?
He's not under duress, in my opinion, no.
Let me ask this question, because to me, duress has to happen before the process of the pass starts. Is that a thing or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say yes. I never thought about it, Corey, but yes.
Yeah. So this guy, he just, like you said, he drops back and he just throws this on schedule, right? I mean, this is just on schedule, in phase throw.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good point, Corey. I mean, the quarterback's not worried about this guy at all. Literally not at all. No, nothing from his body language suggests he's panicked. It is funny, though, that the guy slaps him in the back and we wouldn't consider him under duress. But he's
right.
not. I mean, he's just not. He throws it on schedule. So I agree. It's just an interesting play. This is easily could catch us off guard a little bit with Corey, Daniel, whoever, hopefully the line of scrimmage guy, whoever or gal, whoever else is coming in. There's nobody in the area.
Please funny whistle before you come running in. I know we've said it before, but golly, please give a funny whistle so that we can, as referees, can stop our processes and not flush this play.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, just to follow up on the ING deep dive, there it is. That was that probably wasn't the 201 test, but it was something else.
Hey, before we move on, does anybody know anybody at the Military Bowl? Because we need to get the Tulane logo correct. There's supposed to be a wave crashing over the T, and that's just really inappropriate that they would just be lazy and just put the name Tulane without putting a wave on there. I'm sorry.
Well, maybe Tulane didn't supply the right.
No.
Yeah,
that could be Courtney. Happen. That could be Courtney Luquette right there, because that's I think.
Wow.
Blast
from the past.
She's upset as well. So I guarantee she's upset as well.
You know what I like that you guys said, just to rehash this thing that we had already put to bed. Like the quarterback has no, so like, I don't know how we define the word duress, but the quarterback has no sense of that player.
No,
he just doesn't feel him. And another way maybe that's helpful, and I know I'm out of my depth here, but there's nothing in the quarterback's that communicates he's feeling pressure and he needs to get away, right? Like he steps into this throw.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if you feel him backing up because whatever, he gets scary about that guy coming off the edge, then maybe you can say, oh, wow, that was under duress.
Correct. I think it's basically what you were saying, DY, and I agree with you. It's the position of the defender as well as the impact and reaction of the quarterback. Yeah. Put those two together to determine duress. It's not just is the defender in the area, because that's not what duress is.
Yeah, good one.